September 16th is the PlayStation 5 Showcase, an event that will surely announce the release date and price of the PS5 system, along with revealing brand new exclusive games. I'm personally excited to see any and all upcoming PS5 games as I plan on picking up the system this holiday, but ever since I established myself as that one guy that talks about LittleBigPlanet here on YouTube, I know there's one game in particular my audience is eager to see more of. Sackboy A Big Adventure, a 3D LittleBigPlanet spinoff that came out of left field back in the first June PS5 showcase. But sure, there was some speculation and rumors leading up to the game's announcement, but for the most part, it was very unexpected. LittleBigPlanet is a series I always thought was abandoned ever since 2014 when the third game came out, but now that a spin-off is releasing, I can only hope it's the best it can be. I want this game to succeed so that more LBP games can be made in the future. That's why I'm going to take this time to discuss my hopes for Sackboy A Big Adventure, because who knows, we might just see it again at this upcoming event. Listen, I understand LittleBigPlanet isn't referenced by name anywhere in the game's title. It's just called Sackboy A Big Adventure. And yeah, I don't like the game's title very much either. I hope it changes to something less forgettable, but that's besides the point. Considering LittleBigPlanet is absent from this title, Sumo may be taking on a new direction for the series entirely. Sackboy A Big Adventure might just be Sony's way of keeping Sackboy around as their platforming mascot, in the process potentially killing off the LittleBigPlanet brand, since Dreams is already a thing. I could definitely see Sumo Digital ditching level creation and in-depth customization, not only in this game, but future entries in this Sackboy Adventure series. Instead of just a spin-off, this could end up being a replacement. I'll come right out and say it though, as a fan of the LBP series, I'm not for that. I really hope there is a level creator of some kind. No, it doesn't need to be on par with the mainline series when it comes to options and tools, but I truly believe that Sumo can do something here. Making levels in a 3D space can get a bit complicated, and LittleBigPlanet karting is a good example of what not to do. But Dreams? That game kind of nailed it, and no, I don't expect Sumo to just copy and paste what Media Molecule did. Dreams took 7 years or so to make after all, but at the very least, take some inspiration from that game. You can simplify things, you don't need to go all out. Whatever you do, just don't treat it as an afterthought, a bonus feature. Incorporate a way to play other people's levels, don't restrict and limit absolutely everything. Depending on how good the level creator turns out, this game can have a lot of replayability. And replayability is the main reason why I loved LBP. There was just an endless amount of things to do in the mainline games, so much user-generated content to discover, so much to create yourself. If we're being realistic though, this game probably won't have any substantial create mode. There's plenty of evidence going against a solid level creator, but I'm holding out hope for it. If it's not there, I won't be all that disappointed. I just won't see Sackboy A Big Adventure as this grand return of LittleBigPlanet. Rather, a fun little 3D romp featuring Sackboy that hopefully leads to much bigger things in the future. If there's one game I don't want at launch with the PS5, it's Sackboy A Big Adventure. Seriously, hear me out. Spiderman, Ratchet Clank, Horizon, and Demon Souls are all likely candidates for the PS5 launch window, and one of them for sure will be there on launch day. Not only that, but there are tons of third-party games, such as Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, and Yakuza launching in the same time frame of PS5's release day. And to top it all off, Astrobot, seemingly a full-fledged 3D platformer, comes installed with every PS5 at launch for free. So please, Sony, Sumo, give Sackboy A Big Adventure not only time to breathe, but also just time to develop. If there's anything you should avoid, it's rushing another LittleBigPlanet title just to make the holiday season. And judging by this lineup, there's literally no reason Sackboy A Big Adventure should come out with the system. If so, you're directly competing with your own studio's games, especially if another 3D platformer like Ratchet is there on day one. Thankfully, I don't think we have to worry too much about this. Sony is a smart company, they wouldn't do something that stupid, but since we don't know their plans until the 16th, there's still a slight possibility this could happen. Even if the game is complete right now, you've tested it, you've added loads of content, I don't want to see it. Not until 2021 at the earliest. There are just too many games coming out at once, and if there's one game right now barely anybody's talking about, it's Sackboy A Big Adventure. That game will be overshadowed and forgotten almost instantly, hurting the sales and affecting any chance of a sequel, revival, or reboot of LittleBigPlanet. I've talked on long enough about this though. I just hope they save this game for a month where nothing's coming out. I hope they build up as much hype as humanly possible. Just take their time. This one is pretty obvious. I'm 99% sure it will happen, but we still don't have any confirmation. I just hope this game has online multiplayer. The main reason why I'm 99% sure this will have online multiplayer is because we've already seen 4-player co-op in the trailers. We just don't know if what we're seeing is strictly local or not. If it's not local and it's online only, I think that would be equally confusing, considering LittleBigPlanet games in the past have done both. Not to mention, this game looks very similar to Super Mario 3D World in terms of level layouts, and an enhanced version of that game was just announced for the Nintendo Switch. The reason I bring that up is because the Switch version is going to have online multiplayer, and Nintendo usually doesn't do that with mainline Mario games. It would be pretty embarrassing on Sony's part if Nintendo is including online multiplayer in a game like this, when Sony themselves isn't, when they've done it in the past. So I fully expect this to happen. Once again, not too worried about no online multiplayer, but as it stands, we just don't know yet. If there's anything to add though, I would love for the pod to come back. I absolutely love the pod. It's a great hub area in LittleBigPlanet games, and it's especially a fun little place just to chill out in with your friends and other people. 50% of my time in LBP2 was just sitting in my pod, not only because I was searching for levels to play, but because I would hang out and talk with my friends a lot. We would make funny costumes and just edit each other's pods and just, I don't know, play games on our DS's or something. It was just a fun little hub area, and I really want that to come back, as it was a staple of the mainline series and even some spin-offs like LittleBigPlanet Karting and Vita. Costumes, stickers, and decorations were all important pieces of the LBP series. There was so much variety in these customization options by the time we got to LBP3. The reason for that is because LBP3 took everything, including the unlockables from all 3 games, and the hundreds of licensed and original DLC, and just put them into one game. It was an outstanding amount of content, an overwhelming amount of content, and I'm not afraid to admit that I put a lot of money into those DLC costumes. So I know it's gonna hurt when I say this, but I don't think any of the DLC or past unlockable costumes and stickers are returning. You have to realize that this task would require Sumo to either port assets from 3 games made 2 generations ago, or to build them from the ground up, and if that wasn't enough work on their shoulders, they would have to go through all of the licensing for DLC again and get them back. If you haven't been keeping up with LBP since 2014, you might not know this, but a lot of DLC packs are no longer available. The licensing for things like Nickelodeon and Disney costumes have expired. They would have to pay more money just to get them back. So, what I'm trying to get at is that I hope Sackboy A Big Adventure introduces a large amount of new unlockable costumes. New stickers, new decorations, new whatever. And it is confirmed that new customization options exist in the game. I mean, obviously, why wouldn't they be in the game? We saw prize bubbles and brand new costumes in the trailer, but when I mean a large amount, I mean a substantial amount. Making your Sackboy the exact way you wanted him was so important to a lot of people. And when you look at older entries like LBP1 and LBP PSP, the limited options you could choose from made it tough. I'm not saying that Sumo should focus on making thousands of options at launch or anything and take away resources from other sides of development, but more unlockable costumes as maybe free DLC challenges in the future could be fun. I don't think Sony can get away with the amount of microtransactions LBP had nowadays, but I would hope there's at least enough to satisfy people. More than LBP 1 and LBP PSP combined is what I would expect when it comes to the amount of options at launch, but hey, the costumes we saw in the first trailer look pretty good. They look really good, in fact. We've come a long way when it comes to customization since the first game, and I'm glad we'll get to customize our Sack boys and girls once again. So those were my hopes for Sackboy A Big Adventure, all of which I think were pretty reasonable. Again, the only one that's kind of unlikely is Create Mode, or at least a full-fledged Create Mode. If there is no Create Mode, I hope there is some way to maybe upload your custom costumes or something, because user-generated content is such an important part of the old games, but I know they're trying to do something new here. I know they're trying to possibly reinvent the entire series. Maybe that stuff's just stuck in the past? I don't know. If there's one more hope I have for this game, it's that we see it at the upcoming PS5 event. Sony's going to cover a lot of games that were previously announced, along with new announcements and updates. I think Sackboy A Big Adventure needs another trailer. We need to know more about this game because there's a lot of questions. I want to know more. I want to know what's up with the story even. Like, we don't even know any of the story characters. We don't know if Oddsock or Toggle or Swoop are back. I know some people don't want those characters back. I don't really mind. But yeah, tell me what your hopes are for Sackboy A Big Adventure in the comments. Not only that, but what do you expect or hope for in this upcoming PS5 event? I'm hoping we at least get 2 more heavy hitter game announcements. Maybe something like God of War 2 or like a big third-party game Sony bought up. We'll see. If anything, I just want the PS5 pricing and a release date. That's what I'm really looking forward to. If something big and exciting gets announced, especially for Sackboy, I'll definitely cover it. I'll make a video on it as soon as possible. But besides that, I'll see you later. Goodbye.